green flag racing on the back straight. The field is forming up. Aaron Lichty on the pole. Rob Manucheri around the outside. Two-time race winner Eric Coutil in the white and red EG on the second row with Dave Montgomery, DJ Alessandrini, and Will Young, time attack legend in the top 3 rows. We are about to go green flag, and the green flag is out down into turn 1 for the first time. You see the green flag in the Honda booth there waving, and it's a bunch of cars all over the place. Rob Manucheri, though, maybe going to lead into turn 1. 3 wide for second place. Dave Montgomery around the outside of Eric Coutil. Lichty grabs a bunch of curb. Really fanned out here, but Manucheri taking the point at the start, chucks it into 5. These guys are still 2 and 3 wide over the S's. Down into turn 6. Lichty coming back at Coutil, and Coutil wants that second spot. These guys did this lap for lap for lap yesterday, battling one another, but they're going at it for second place, chasing down Rob Manucheri, who's going to try to pull a gap. We have a little break in the action there, and Manucheri is definitely doing that, gapping away from Eric Coutil, who's jumped into the second spot with those newer tires. Lichty and Montgomery on their heels, but look at Will Young into the 5th spot, jumping DJ Alessandrini.
Pretty impressively clean start there for the guys. Onto the carousel, we do see Rob way out front, 6-7 car lengths, but a tight battle with Coutil, Lichty, and Dave Montgomery. 2 to 3 car lengths between them as they head to turn 1 under the Honda bridge there. Cooper Tires Bridge, I mean, the Honda bridges. There's too many bridges here. Rob way out front, still in T1.
That's going to be a 2-second lead for Rob Manucheri about. And then the battle for second place is the same guys we've seen battling this entire weekend. Coutil versus Lichty. Again, it is a 5-race points championship to determine the winner of the entire weekend, so consistency is important. Coutil is perfect on the weekend so far. Manucheri's got points to make up, so this is where he definitely wants to be. And if he can maintain this lead without making mistakes, I think he's in the catbird seat right now for sure. The catbird seat's not the good thing, right? That's
I'm not sure, but I know what his weight is right now. 2756. His stated horsepower, 207. So a lot of fat power band in that BMW right there as he's chased by our winner from yesterday, Eric Coutil, and a nice tight battle there with Montgomery and Aaron Lichty. Clean driving with the newer Civics behind them. We've got DJ Alessandrini and Jake Jornstad back there. It's only a 5-second spread between the first 6 cars here. This might be Rob's race, though. He might have figured out how to get that car underneath of him early in the race.
Sure.
I think the better starting position might have been good for him.
He definitely
BMWs are good.
Definitely dealt with traffic starting from the second row, both of yesterday's races, so the front row was where he wanted to be. It looked like Montgomery was the racy one that lap as things have spread out, but Lichty's been able to pull away. So again, the difference in cars there between Lichty and Montgomery, those 2 Miatas in 3rd and 4th, is just tire. Montgomery's car a little bit heavier, but he's on the R7, the harder compound tire. Lichty is on the softer compound BFG R1S, and that may be the difference between those 2 cars. You see, you talk to Montgomery, he wants the R1S. You talk to Lichty, he thinks they're about the same, of course. So Lichty is starting to look racy on Coutil. We finally have some lap times popping up in the quick car on track as we thought. Rob Manucheri, a 2-second lead, just about. Aaron Lichty a little bit slower than Coutil that lap. So we're going to need the wick turned up from Eric Coutil if he's going to want to run down Rob Manucheri.
Current leader Rob, and in impound after the first 2 races, he weighed after race 1 27.99 and then 27.62. His lowest minimum weight can be 27.56, so he was within about less than 7 pounds, 6 pounds of his race minimum. We need to make sure that he's there, but that's not a
pushing
light car.
hard. Look at him all the way out to the grass coming out of turn 6, and we're talking about weight a lot because this is a power to weight based class, 12.5 pounds per horsepower, and it's all one class. These guys all racing against each other, and that 27.56 is significant for Rob because that allows him to run 245 tires instead of 225 tires. So he's just over. The marker is 27.50. He's at 27.56, which makes him just eligible to run that bigger, wider tire.
I've got Rob's dyno graph in front of me, and it looks kind of like Iowa. That is a flat torque curve right there. That car has an advantage, and that is power band. It's a very, very solid power band. 207 horsepower, 207 torque. It's flat.
Saw Eric Coutil kicking up dirt at the apex of the carousel. I talked to Dave Montgomery after the races yesterday, and he's like, I was just trying to dodge all the debris coming off of Coutil's car because he's dirt at apex, dirt at track out, dirt at the next apex, using all the track and more in that Civic EG. And he was the quick car on track that time. New fast lap of the race was Eric Coutil from second place at a 37 flat. Manuchehri and Lichty were both 37.1s, though, so these guys call it basically even on pace right now. Dave Montgomery dropping just a little bit back at a 37.4. They're in a field of their own right now as DJ Alessandrini is trying to run down Will Young, who's had much improved success in this race.
Yeah.
But a beautiful look at how composed Rob Manuchehri looks. Comfortable.
So
little catch of the car into 5 there. But see if he uses all the track again like he did last time. Just chucks the BMW into 6 all the way out to the grass, keeping it pinned up under the Honda bridge.
Eric Coutil's competition horsepower 192. And his race weight 2477 and no 2472, and his actual impound weight 2477 both times. Yeah. So he was within 5 pounds of his impound weight. These guys are really they're doing the math on fuel consumption to get themselves right there in impound.
Car to watch right now is at the back of your screen, Kevin Ruck. It's the Black Integra 4th car there on track. He was quicker than the 3 cars in front of him that lap. Again, this is the first day he's run GRIDLIFE Touring Cup. Been to Mid-Ohio a ton, local guy, but getting up to speed with a new build. If he's feeling racy, he could get up to the back of Jake Jorgenstad, DJ Alessandrini, and Will Young, and potentially climb up into the top 5.
Biggest change for Kevin Ruck was a full dog box M Factory gear set transmission, and he said it was beautifully built, but they had to take it apart about 10 times before it shifted perfectly. All the little pieces of the case had to be modified, and yeah, he does a lot of his own work, he and his father, out of Ohio. Yeah, a lot of hours put into that car. He's here basically shaking that car down for the VIR Majors with SCCA next weekend, correct? Yep. It looks like a pretty successful shakedown so far.
And that's why I say if he's feeling racy,
yeah,
he
also said he's pretty excited to be a part of the first weekend of this. He was sick last week, and he still got through to get the car done. Glad to see him out here.
Great look at Dave Montgomery there in 4th spot, but quick car on track that time by was Aaron Lichty from 3rd, 36.5. He qualified at a 36 flat, so that car's even got more speed in it now. Eric Coutil was a 36.5 as well, so those two running identical pace. Manuchehri dropped to a 36.9, and look at the gap. It's almost gone now. Rob Manuchehri struggling with pace just a little bit as Eric Coutil and Aaron Lichty turn up the wick together. These guys being smart, not being racy with one another like we saw yesterday, just to make sure they can run down. And then the battle for 5th is definitely heating up. We'll cut back to that if we can, but the battle for the lead is on. Manuchehri lifts the inside front through the bumps of the carousel and onto the front straight to start the 4th lap. We expect 9 laps out of this race. Yesterday they did about 10 or 11. The feedback from the drivers was that might be just a little bit long if we're going to do 5 races.
Current
Look
fast
at this.
lap there.
New track record, if we're calling them that, for GRIDLIFE Touring Cup. Eric Coutil quickest that time by on a 35.9. That's quicker than Aaron Lichty qualified. So Lichty is 36 flat. Those two continuing to run the same pace. Manuchehri still in the high 36s, so his lead is under threat. Coutil is there. The
top 10 cars are all within less than 3 seconds here. 36.7 to 39.6, with the outlier being Coutil's 35. But this is Emil Tab just dropped into the 39s. That's his best of the weekend, I believe.
Something happened to Lichty that time through the keyhole. Oh, a lockup from Manuchehri. Runs wide, but Lichty's dropped off of this battle too. So Coutil has the opportunity. He's trying around the outside of 5, up over the top. If he can get it into 6, he might be able to. No, drops in line. Hits that apex, climbing the curb.
He's in the back of that car there. It's close.
He's got a nose, but he's not going to go there. He knows there's nowhere to go unless you're really, really pushing the issue. Let's see what's going on here.
You have to be fully next to those cars,
Oh, he's trying it, though.
Close.
So close. And you see how these two raced each other just for a couple corners, and Lichty's back with them. So every single time you make an attack, you're losing time. These wheel-to-wheel drivers have to be smart about when they choose to make their attacks. Eric Coutil has to pay attention to Rob Manuchehri in front for his opportunity to get by, but have to make sure he doesn't get passed by Aaron Lichty as he kicks up dust more. Again, they're top 3 all together as they come on to lap number 5.
5 laps in, and we do potentially have a tow coming up. I'm hearing over the radio. We'll find out if we can see it anywhere. Looks
all the way out to the grass, all 3 of these guys.
No yellow flag. What a battle for first place here. P1, 2, 3 right there.
This is a halfway point for the race, so these guys have more time if they need to take their time to pick their spots. Dave Montgomery from 4th is watching these guys come close together, saying, race each other, race each other. I need to get up there. He's continuing to turn competitive lap times there, but has kind of lost touch of them on those first couple laps. Look at down the back straight. The draft, I think, on the BMW is great for Eric Coutil to just pull up, and he's alongside in the braking zone, trying the outside.
Him.
He's going to hang on to it, rotates it around, and Coutil will have the position. He's going to easily be able to jump ahead over the inside, but Mainicherry does a great job. Out to the grass, I think Coutil's going to have it. Yes, he does.
That was an excellent pass. Very clean driving all the way.
On the power, sideways up under the Honda bridge, and now Lichty is focused on the back of that BMW. Mainicherry has to recover.
Great heads-up driving by both winning Formula drivers there, Mainicherry and Lichty. All three of those cars were within a 20-foot span of each other if you drew a circle around them, probably. I did misspeak. There isn't a car off track. He's stuck in track exit, so we are going to stay hot. I couldn't see him through one of the walls here, but Nate Bookbinder having probably another electrical issue with a new build here as the crew passes them out of the carousel onto the front straight, start-finish. It is 1, 2, 3, Coutil, Mainicherry, and Lichty.
Coutil, two-time race winner for Touring Cup this weekend so far, and he is back at the point, leads his first lap of race 3 after claiming the lead in turn 5. These guys have about 3 laps to go, but Mainicherry is coming back at him. That BMW quick down the straights. Coutil will not have the draft this time, so we'll see if Mainicherry can get off the corner strong. Cheering section, Emma and Emily going to be going crazy for the 82 car right now, but the winning Formula guy is trying to come back at Eric Coutil, see if he can get race win number 3 or if it's going to go to Kentucky. Mainicherry got a little bit of a run, but the Civic straight line is pretty good. Looks to the inside. Not going to be as strong a break.
BMW though,
yeah.
It's got such a solid power band, as we said earlier. It's and it's so different than the power band of the Honda B series, which is so peaky.
Yeah.
It's an interesting disparity in these 3 cars. How they make power, how they use it, and wow, what a run under the Honda bridge there for all 3 of them.
Yeah.
As we see that Dave Montgomery chasing them, driving by himself, but he's still real close. One bobble by all 3 of them, and he is right there.
And it was Coutil who was quickest last time by, as he's starting to gap Mainicherry, and Lichty is not going to like what he's seeing because he's going to be stuck behind Mainicherry. If he's quicker, it's tough to get by somebody, and all the meanwhile, Eric Coutil is going to be putting in clean laps trying to get away. That Civic looks really hooked up in the front end. It looks really loose in the back, though. You see him every lap off of turn 6 as the white flag waves, starting lap number 8. So it is 8-lap race this time through for GRIDLIFE Touring Cup race number 3. White flag out on race leader Eric Coutil, who has a pretty comfortable, the most comfortable he's had all weekend even, over Rob Mainicherry, who's trying to fend off teammate Aaron Lichty. Very different cars battling for 2nd and 3rd. Lichty doesn't have a choice but to wait any longer. He's got to go for that 2nd spot. Again, Eric Coutil perfect on the weekend points-wise. It's a championship for 5 races, and Lichty's just going to continue to drop back on those points if he can't claw his way up back to Eric Coutil. Mainicherry gapping the Miata down the back straight.
Really, really impressed with the driving on all these drivers here. Staying out of harm's way and really running tight up front. We got battle after battle in the back half, too. Tight times. And a fun race to watch here. We see the Corvette chased by Derek Yarbrough. The Corvette of Chris Tuttle, his race weight quite a bit heavier, 3163 of 241 horsepower, heavily restricted.
Fast car of the last lap was actually Dave Montgomery in 4th, so he might be rallying that car again. He wasn't happy with his tire situation, trying to get a car underneath him. But for races 4 and 5, that could be interesting. You see, he's definitely pulled up on the back of Aaron Lichty from that gap, maybe down to 1 straightaway length. But around the last final corners of Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course for Eric Coutil has a comfortable lead into the carousel. Mainicherry had a great lap to try to get up there, but just didn't have enough time with these short sprint races. And Eric Coutil makes it 3 for 3 in the EG Civic, wins race 3 here for GRIDLIFE Touring Cup at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Rob Mainicherry in the BMW E36 sets fast lap of the race for himself on the last lap, tries to get back to the bumper of the Civic, but not enough time, takes 2nd. Aaron Lichty dropping to 3rd for the first time this weekend. Dave Montgomery almost running fast lap of the race, finishing 4th there at the end. He's going to be a factor for the last 2 races this weekend. You just watch. DJ Alessandrini goes to P5 with another strong run on his first wheel-to-wheel weekend ever. Will Young running in 6th place, continuing to improve in the RSX. Fresh build there. Jake Jornstad 7th. Kevin Ruck maintains the 8th spot, and then a great battle for 9th between Mike Taylor and Emil Tab. We were keeping an eye on, but didn't have a chance to cut to because of this guy right here, and the other 2 at the front, Manucheri, Coutil, and Lichty, put on such a good show. Yet again, really tight action in the middle of that race. Now we got to talk about what's going to happen for race 4, because this finishing order is going to be the starting grid.
Yep.
Manucheri back on the front row. Montgomery quick at the end of that race, quicker than anybody else. Each one of these races is going to have such a different dynamic amongst the same drivers, because it's just an evolution as the weekend builds through this 5-race championship. Every single time, it's going to be a different dynamic when the green flag drops.
I really I love the interesting cars and the different cars as we see this view of the Vet, the E46, and the NC chased by the FRS. That's a lot of different cars right there, and I'm really happy that they all came out of here for the first weekend of GridLife Touring Cup. Looking forward. Time Attack coming up next. Just a quick pause here before we go hot. We got lunch and then Time Attack.
Yeah, so as we round down the first stream of the day here at GridLife Live from Mid-Ohio, that was race 3 of GridLife Touring Cup. We had 2 sessions of track battle competition where all 6 track records fell. We will be back at 1 o'clock this afternoon with track battle competition. 2 more sessions for these guys to continue to chip away at those track records. Again, at 1 o'clock Eastern here at grid.life/live. Time Attack cars first. GridLife Touring Cup race 4 on the weekend is at 1:40 p.m. Eastern. Straight back into Time Attack at 2 o'clock. We'll have 1 advanced session to take our breath, to catch our breath, because we're out of it right now.
I do need a little bit of breather.
And then finally wrapping up the competition on the weekend from Mid-Ohio, round 1 here with GridLife Touring Cup race number 5 at 3 p.m. So again, 2 more races, 1:40 and 3 o'clock. Time Attack at 1 and 2.
We'll see what they have for us, and I'll sign off here. Good job, Tom.
Thanks, guys.
Good job, production crew. Good job, workers and staff. We appreciate all you guys watching. What an interesting weekend here. Eric Coutil, maybe we need to put him on some street tires next time. That guy is hustling that Civic, part of the GridLife Touring Cup Rules Committee. But that car is built to the nth degree and driven very, very well. His past history and Tom's history in that car shows us that the car is good and Eric can drive. We have seen that in a close battle from all the winning Formula guys right behind him.
Absolutely. You guys on YouTube tuning in with us, loved that race. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us all morning. If you give that a share and tune back in at 1 o'clock, we'll be back for more competition. We're going to go grab some lunch. Suggest you do the same. Thanks for hanging with us here on GridLife Live.